Hello students, good morning everyone. So today we are switch over to the first chapter, the Indian Constitution. Well guys, Indian Constitution was written by Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, and it is to be said that it took a long journey, the 2 years and 11 months to complete the whole constitution. And guys, the one more major things which comes into your mind and mine is to that these particular journey of the forming of constitution, why we need that constitution, what we make and what makes us to be a part of this constitution, and why there is a necessity for this. So you guys have wondered that why constitution, or been curious about this constitution got written or who wrote it. So we are going to discuss these some of aspects in this particular chapter. So in this chapter we are going to begin with football, a game many of you have probably heard of or even played. As the name suggests, this is a game that involves the player's feet. According to the rules of football, if the ball touches the arms of any player, then this is considered a foul. So if players start holding the football in their hands and passing it around, then they are not playing football anymore. Similarly, other games such as hockey or cricket also have ruled according to which they are played. So guys, every game have a rules to play. When you play cricket, there is a rules. When you play football, hockey, chess, there are rules which you need to follow and under which you need to be protected. So why does a country need a constitution? First thing which comes into your mind. So all democratic countries are likely to have the constitution, but on the other hand, it is not necessary that all countries that have a constitution are democratic. The constitution serves several purposes as listed. So it is not to be said that every country has the same tendency of constitution, though it is democratic. No. In 1934, the Indian National Congress made the demand for Constitution Assembly. So the demand was raised by the Indian Congress in 1934. So let's see that what will happen if you have a constitution or you are in democratic constitution society or in country. So a constitution which observes and tells us that what the fundamental and the rules and regulation nature of our society, how we people live the life, what barriers are there and what rules are there which we need to follow, otherwise we will be fired by the government. A constitution helps serve as a set of rules and principles that all persons in a country, and guys, so all person in a country can agree up, and the basis of way which they want country to be governed. So one has to follow something. Under that, everyone have that right. Still, that right which are given to them is not mean that they are free to do anything. If there is a crime, then constitution is there. If there is if they don't follow constitution, then they will be punished. So trespasser will be prosecuted. These idea we have heard in many times. So in a democratic societies, the constitution often lays down rules that guard against the misuse of authority by our political leaders. So the democratic societies, the constitution often lays down rules that guard against the misuse of authority by our political leaders. So our political leaders always misused the authority which was given by the constitution to them. The constitution the constitution ensures that a dominant or the authoritative part group does not use its power against less powerful people or groups. So uh, constitution says that particular person who having a power, still he can use his power only when the requirement is there. It doesn't mean that if you have a power and you use it. Okay guys, so if it is necessity to use the power, then only you can use, otherwise you can't use the power. So the constitution helps us also to protect against the decision which is wrong against to us. If there is no constitution, then government takes the decision and we have to follow it. But if there is a constitution, then government or any political leader should not take the action against us without noticing or without going against the constitution. Okay guys, here is some story, please do read it by your own self. So the Indian constitution's key features. We are not dealing with the story, we have to deal with our important topics about constitution. That's why we have to switch over on this particular thing. So the Indian constitution key features. So a group of 300 people become a member of the Constitution Assembly in 1946. So it has happened that in 1946 300 people become the member of the Constitution Assembly, and who meet periodically for the next 3 years to write Indian Constitution. Okay, now this is the process how the Indian government make a constitution. Here is the Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, is known as the father of Indian Constitution. He was very talented guy, guys. While writing Indian Constitution, these members keep into mind that different communities who speak different languages belong to different religions and have a distinct cultures. So they are also having in mind that we people are having different languages, different religions, and have distinct cultures. Listed below are the key features of the Indian Constitution. So what type of constitution must be what the constitution must be follow? The first thing comes into our mind is, which is important, federalism. So what is federalism? This refers to the existence of more than one level of government in the country. In India, I'm talking about in India, so we are having a government and also state government, central government and state government. So at the center there is a Panchayati Raj at the village level. So you can see that in village there are many sarpanch. So those sarpanch are form with the constitution of Panchayati Raj. They became Sarpanch because of this Panchayati Raj comes into the existence. The constitution or such type of constitution gives us the details of issues that each of the government can make laws on. And in extra, the constitution tells us that where each tier of government can get the money from. And all person in India are governed by the laws and policies and made by each of these levels of government. So whatever the government have the policy, you need to follow it, otherwise you will be fired in simple way. Government make the decisions and laws, and that laws you need to follow. So parliamentary form of government. So the people of India have a direct role in electing their representative. So when a person is going to elect, there is a different direct role in electing their representative. Also, even citizen of the country, irrespective of his or her social background, can contest in elections. Separation of powers. There are three organs of government. The legislature refers to elected representatives by the people. The executive is a smaller group of people who are responsible for implementing laws and running the government. And the judiciary, who refer the system of courts in India. So three organs are there. First one is legislature, refers elected representative by the people. हम जिन्हें पसंद करते हैं वो लेजिस्लेचर हैं. एग्जीक्यूटिव जो स्मॉल ग्रुप होता है पीपल का, और दे आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर इम्प्लीमेंटिंग लॉज एंड रनिंग द गवर्नमेंट, जो गवर्नमेंट को चलाते हैं और लॉज को उसके लॉज हैं, जो आइडियाज़ हैं उसे पब्लिक में लागू करते हैं. व्हाट इज़ जुडिशियरी? जुडिशियरी रिफर द सिस्टम ऑफ कोर्ट इन इंडिया. सो जुडिशियर के इन इंडिया वी हैव अ जुडिशियरी पर्टिकुलर वे. So each organ mentioned above acts as a check on the other organs of government. This ensures the balance of power between all three. So what is the fundamental rights? The Constitution gives us a kind of guarantee that rights of particular person or individual person against the state as well as against the other individual is also guarantees the right of minorities against the majority. So the fundamental rights which are given by the government, it is always for particular person, but he should not go against the government or against the state or against the minority. So what type of right is there? So right of equality, that every person is equal in this India. Right of freedom, you can study in every school, you can go in every places. This is the freedom. Right against exploitation, अगर आपको कोई परेशान कर रहा है, आपका कोई एक्सप्लॉइटेशन कर रहा है, तो आपको उसके अगेंस्ट भी राइट है. कल्चरल एंड एजुकेशनल राइट्स. सो हमें किसी भी स्कूल, शाखा, इंस्टीट्यूशन, गवर्नमेंट में जाने का हक है, उसका राइट्स हमें गवर्नमेंट ने दिया है. राइट ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन रेमेडीज़. सो एवरी सिटीज़न मस्ट बी इन अ पोजिशन टू क्लेम फंडामेंटल राइट्स। हम सभी अपने राइट्स बता सकते हैं सामने वाले को। फंडामेंटल राइट्स मस्ट बी बाइंडिंग अपॉन एवरी अथॉरिटी दैट हैज़ गॉट द पावर टू मेक लॉज। सो जितने भी फंडामेंटल राइट्स हैं वो सब चीज़ों से बंधे हुए हैं। और वो राइट्स हमें अथॉरिटी से बांध के रखते हैं। जो अथॉरिटी जुडिशियल सिस्टम के पास है, जिससे वो लोग ये तय करते हैं कि हमें क्या करना चाहिए, क्या नहीं करना चाहिए, और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के हिसाब से ही हमें चलना चाहिए। सो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन also have a section which is to be known as directive principle of state policy, which ensures greater social and economical forms, and this need to be understand that policy which ensures greater social and economical reform and serve as a guide to the independent Indian state to institute laws and policies. For more information about this, you can research over on it. Now we switch over on to secularism, which is your last thing to come. So a secularism state is one which the state does not officially promote any one religious as the state religious. So secularism वो परिस्थिति है जहाँ पे कोई भी व्यक्ति एक पर्टिकुलर वे में एक पर्टिकुलर रिलीजियस को फॉलो नहीं कर सकता है, और कोई भी स्टेट या लॉ एक पर्टिकुलर रिलीजियस को फॉलो करने के लिए हमें उकसाता नहीं है। Different features of Indian Constitution outlined above involves complicated ideas that are often not easy to grasp. Okay guys, so there are different kind of constitution ideas which you need not worry, but you need to understand that what is your limitation. अगर आप अपनी लिमिटेशन मर्यादा भूलते हो तो आपको कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन लागू पड़ेगा। अगर आप किसी को हार्म पहुंचाते हो, अगर आप किसी को के साथ गलत करने की भावना रखते हो, अगर आप किसी के साथ कुछ भी गलत करने का सोचते हो, तो वो सब पनिशेबल ऑफेंस है, जिसके तहत आपको भी लॉ के हिसाब से सज़ा होएगी, मतलब होएगी। Okay guys, so this is your chapter where we have discussed about the what is law, and we are protected by the law, and we are also having a barrier because of that law, the limitation.